So, Jason, you are touted as the hottest new teen idol ever.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them over a warm glass of coffee. I'm your boy, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here, as always, by my sports fan fanatic, Kat Halstead, the author. Welcome back, girl. Welcome back.
It's so funny you said that because last night the boyfriend started talking shit about the Yankees and I glared at him so hardcore. He was kind of freaked out because I was like, we do not talk shit about my boys in pinstripes.
You do not besmirch the pinstripes in this household. I didn't know you were a Yankees fan, but actually I think I knew that now that I'm looking back at the podcast.
I mean, diehard Yankee. I love my Yankees.
Your sports regions are all over the map. It's the Broncos, the Yankees. Do you have a basketball team?
No.
I feel like you're a Lakers girl.
I don't do basketball.
Not even a little bit?
Nope.
Okay, good to know. What about hockey? The New Jersey Devils?
Devils!
Yes, I knew it. Whew, at least I got something right.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. We're in the midst of Jason Bateman January. Is that the official name of it?
Jason Bateman January. Woo-woo.
This is the month that we honor our Lord and Savior, Jason Bateman, star of The Hogan's Family, Arrested Development, Ozark, and the show we're doing today.
Yes.
We're going to honor his lesser-known hits, right?
Yes, we are going to dive into some gems that you can only find now on YouTube.
In the Batemanography.
Yeah.
You can watch this on the YouTube channel. I love the name of it. It's Bateman's World.
Yes.
I thought there'd be oodles of stuff on there, but there's only this show and then maybe an interview with him, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it's him on Carpool Karaoke or so. I don't know what it is. There's something else.
Just something random, yeah.
But what are we doing this week for Jason Bateman January? What a fine classic forgotten gem from the late 90s.
Are doing the NBC sitcom Chicago Suns.
Yes, this is about three brothers, sort of different age groups.
I would say that, there's just a few years between each of them.
Okay, we'll get to it in a minute. But they're three brothers, all have come back together. They're living in a small little apartment above Wrigley Field in Chicago. Is that the...
Yes.
They can literally overlook the stadium. They can watch games from their roof.
And yeah, they'll have barbecues and parties up there to watch the game.
Yeah, I love it. And so this stars Jason Bateman. He's the lead. He's Harry Kolchak.
Yes.
He's the middle brother. I guess the quote-unquote successful one.
Well, I think the older brother's also successful in his career.
Just not in his personal life?
Yeah, just not his personal life. He was until, the pilot episode.
That is true. Because the pilot episode kind of pulls the rug out from underneath them. So the older brother's played by D.W. Moffat.
Yes.
Famous actor who you may know from Friday Night Lights. Switched at Birth, I think is the other show that he did. Hold on. You're going to be floored when I tell you how old D.W. Moffat was in 1997 when he did this.
Oh, God.
You're going to be floored. Because that's why I was like, how old are they? Take a guess. Just throw a number out there.
32.
No, that actor was 43 years old when he did this.
What?
He's a 66-year-old man now. I looked it up. He was born in 1954. He's older than my dad.
Wow.
Yes. I think he was obviously playing younger because I was like, he's probably 29 maybe 29, 30 at the latest.
Wow.
And then playing the youngest brother, who's he's a college dropout. He's one of those, he's trying to make it rich quick, get involved in all kinds of schemes. It's our boy.
The one, the only, snow globe loving elf who also ends up killing Lucy and destroying Carter's life.
That can only mean one thing.
David Krumholtz.
Yes, David Krumholtz says the young one. And who was my least favorite character in this. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't a Krumholtz fan of this. I don't know.
I don't think this episode really gave him very much to do.
He's just kind of there. He's kind of like the sage wise man. And it's just kind of ironic because his life is a complete mess because they all go to him for advice.
Why are you going to your, like, 21-year-old dropout brother? Like,
Well, I don't know. Hold on, though. His character, he is totally probably someone that is involved in like an MLM scam today online, right?
oh, 100%.
He's got his own thing. He's probably the top of the pyramid.
He's the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, he's got who's that actor on General Hospital working for him?
Steve Burton.
Yeah, Steve Burton. He's got Steve Burton underneath him and friends. All right, so to give you a little idea of when the show aired premiered on January 8th, 1997. I know exactly where I was. Where were you?
January 8th, 1997.
It was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
Yes.
We were 3 episodes into Sunset Beach at this point.
Yeah, maybe Meg thinks that Mark is SB at this point. I don't remember what happens in episode 3.
No, she's probably just still wandering around this damn town.
She hasn't moved into Surf Central yet?
No, not yet. That's like the next week.
Oh, yeah, okay. So she's fallen off the pier. She's gone to the hospital. So she's probably getting discharged right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see her get discharged.
Mm-hmm.
This portion of the podcast appeals to like 3 people in the world.
They're like, what the fuck?
Watch Sunset Beach on YouTube. It will all make sense. I believe they have every episode on there, or just about every episode.
Close to it, I think.
So anyway, you want to go into the world of entertainment on January 8th, 1997, because
I'm quite curious.
This is actually like a pretty decent night. It's actually kind of fun. I'm really interested in what you're going to say for the night when we ask for the grade scale.
Okay.
Very curious. All right. You want to start off with our friends at ABC, as always, as tradition stands?
Yes, let's kick it off with ABC.
All right, at 8 o'clock, we're in our comfort zone with Grace Under Fire.
Okay.
This is a show I watched. It starred Brett Butler. She was a divorced woman. She lives in a pretty nice house by herself. She works at like a factory with all men.
Yeah, she works at an oil refinery.
That's it. Okay, I knew she worked in a typical like man's job, and everyone was like kind of worried about working with her at first. But then it turned out she was like one of the guys.
Yeah, because like they had to hire like 2 women for like the equal opportunity kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone filed a complaint.
And to avoid a lawsuit or something.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I've watched episodes recently.
I think like 2015-ish, it hit like Hulu or something, and I was excited, and I started to watch it, and then I was like, I'm over it already. I'm like over the premise.
Like, I can jump in for like an episode or 2, depending. Like, when I'm going through one of my little... I'm going to watch all the Thanksgiving episodes. I might try and just watch like Thanksgiving episodes, or I might just watch Christmas episodes, but I'm not like, I'm going to sit here and rewatch every episode of Grace of Fire.
I just remember I hated the son on the show. Then they ended up recasting him, and I think I liked the second son better.
Yeah, I think the second son, they aged him up a bit when they recast too.
Yeah, I think they wanted to have like teen storylines. I was like, because I think I like missed a year of the show, and then I went back one day and watched it like during the summer, and I was like, what happened? Why is the little boy like now like 15?
Like, did he have a growth spurt or something? Because they did look a lot alike too.
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
They looked enough alike where it's like, did Quentin just like have a huge growth spurt over the summer? Like, what the hell? No, they recast.
And who was the neighbor? Jay Thomas. That was like his was Grace's love interest.
No, he wasn't the love interest. He was just because he got involved with like her sister.
I really feel like in the first season they were trying to push the two of them together, and then
like they were, but then they like introduced the sister like early on.
Okay.
And he got with her instead.
It was a weird show. You know what? I like Dave's World better, even though they're 2 completely different shows. I just remember them being on at the same time. I'm excited for ABC 8:30. I know you're excited. We're in its final season now. Any guesses? Any hot guesses?
Roseanne.
No, it's a Wednesday night girl.
Oh, sorry. I was in the right, like, comedy couplings.
All right, Coach.
Oh, Coach.
I read the summary of tonight's episode, Somewhere Out There. This one is wild. I have to find this episode. Dauber believes he's been contacted by aliens and considers leaving the Breakers, Orlando, and Earth.
I've seen it like once during that insane Coach rewatch I did a few years ago.
1997, I think, was like peak alien time, I believe.
Oh, man.
I think this is like where alien craze like hit the zeitgeist. You know, it wasn't just a weird Friday night thing on Fox. It was everywhere now.
Man, I still miss that. Like, okay, now we think aliens are putting monoliths everywhere or something, but like, I'm still waiting for, like, the aliens to actually, like, make contact and we have video footage, or are they just too smart for that? They're like, the humans finally got that technology, we gotta, like, back off of them for a while.
Like, didn't we learn in Men in Black that Dennis Rodman's an alien?
I mean, obviously.
All right, I'm excited for ABC 9 o'clock. This is a show that I never really watched that much, and you really can't find much of it anywhere. The Drew Carey Show.
Did a massive rewatch of that, too.
Whoa.
But I had to find all the episodes with the bottle of rum.
Oh yeah, because there's, what, music rights?
Yeah, there's, like, music rights, and who knows, like, oh...
I'm going to throw this out there. I might not have ever actually seen The Drew Carey Show. What's the premise? I don't even think I know the premise of the show.
So you have Drew Carey, who's kind of just like your average dude. He's the HR guy at a department store.
It's a department store?
Yeah, it's a department store.
Why did I think it was a radio channel?
I have no idea.
I don't know. What kind of WKRP news radio world am I living in?
Yeah, like, right? He works at a department store. He has a nemesis named Mimi who wears a lot of blue eyeshadow.
Yeah, I remember her.
Goal in life is to make him miserable because, like, he wouldn't hire her for the cosmetics counter and gave the job to Kate instead. If you're a customer, who are you going to buy your cosmetics from? Kate, your girl next door, or Mimi, the clown?
I just remember Mimi Mania. Like, she was always on the cover of TV Guide or something. She was just all over the place. I feel like she was on other shows. They would just, like, push her out as a guest star or something. I don't know. For actually never seeing the show, I just seem to know a lot about Mimi for some reason.
How have you, like, oh my gosh, we are going to find an episode and we're going to do it.
I mean, I know I've sat down and actually watched episodes. I just can't remember anything about this show. I don't know. All right. Any guesses on what's following the Drew Carey Show? I feel like you know this if you really sat down and thought about it. It was a very popular series in the mid to late 90s, and it abruptly got canceled following I wouldn't call it a scandal, but a newsworthy story.
My brain's not connecting anything. I'm going to feel like a moron. Ellen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Another show I never really watched. I don't know. Like, I've seen eps, but it wasn't for me.
I feel like I watched Ellen, I enjoyed Ellen, and then she came out, and the show just completely changed.
All right, I'm excited for ABC 10 o'clock. I don't know why, but I got myself in some wild rabbit hole for some reason this week with this information.
Oh, dear God.
But it's a show that we always not always watch, a show that we always talk about. Primetime Live. I was really curious because I always make that stupid joke, I bet Diane Sawyer was interviewing Michael Jackson this week or something. So I was like, all right. I'm going to see who she was interviewing this week.
Yeah.
I couldn't find out who she was interviewing this week, but this year, this was the year that her contract was running up with ABC and CBS was trying to woo her.
Uh-huh.
So at one point, ABC wanted to move the show to Thursday night opposite ER.
Why would you do that? That would be stupid.
Diane Sawyer was talking about moving to CBS, so ABC was like, all right, we're not going to do that. But at the same time, ABC was also working with David E. Kelley. They were developing a little show called The Practice, which actually premieres in March of this year. It comes out 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
They were originally going to put it on this slot. They're going to put it on this night and then move Primetime Live to Thursday because David E. Kelley had in his contract, he had a stipulation that the show could not air on Thursday nights against ER because I guess his weird little feud with Chicago Hope and ER. I don't know. And I mean, who would want to go against ER? Am I right? So
nobody wants to go against ER.
They ended up just keeping Primetime Live on Wednesday nights. And then NYPD Blue went on hiatus, and The Practice aired for 6 weeks in NYPD Blue's slot, which I did not know. Did you know that?
I didn't. I just think of The Practice as a Sunday night show that you kind of forget exists.
Yeah, and then when it came back the following fall, it was on Saturday nights for a little while.
When they actually put TV on Saturday nights.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, this is towards the end, because I remember once we hit college, it was definitely done.
Yeah, because I think Walker Texas Ranger was still on, and I don't know, Early Edition, and all those type shows.
Yeah, the stuff for all the older people.
Was The Practice supposed to be a similar audience? I don't know. Who were they going for originally? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't know. I have no clue.
So that's ABC, Primetime Live. The Primetime Live drama continues. It'll continue to unfold as we go through the podcast. All right. You ready for the Tiffany Network? I'm excited for the Tiffany Network. This is great.
Yes.
Things kick off at 8 o'clock with The Nanny.
Okay.
And then following The Nanny is a short-lived sitcom starring Rhea Perlman called Pearl. Do you remember this?
I remember seeing commercials for it.
This was her return to television. She played a middle-aged widow who decides to go back to college.
Okay.
The show also starred Lucy Liu, Carol Kane, and Kevin Corrigan.
That is a wild cast.
I don't remember ever watching the show, but I remember seeing ads for it.
Like, I remember seeing ads, but I don't think I ever watched it. I think I can't even fathom.
And then I'm excited for the CBS 9 o'clock slot. We get the 2-hour series premiere of Orleans.
Orleans?
Yes, this was one of them short-lived 90s, like, primetime soap/drama series. This one had Larry Hagman, who plays a judge in Louisiana, and they ended up moving the show to Friday night after a few episodes, and it got canceled. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either. Like,
I don't know. Sounds kind of exciting. All right. You ready for NBC? You ready for a hot night at NBC? This is actually a lit night at NBC.
give me my NBC, my must-see TV.
All right. Things kick off with our favorite airport, with our favorite municipal airport, Wings. And then following Wings, we get the debut of Chicago Suns. We'll get there in a minute. We'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
See you soon. Sit tight. All right. Any guesses at what is following Chicago Suns? It's a show we've done before, a show we both love. I accidentally referenced it earlier in the episode tonight.
News radio?
You got it. You got it, girl.
Okay.
And then...
Hey, this is like peak Let's Shuffle News radio around all over the place, so who knows where it is.
Yeah, you know what? Whenever they were premiering a new show, they just moved news radio either on before or after it just to see how it would do.
Yeah.
It was like the tent pole. All right. And then following news radio is a show that actually Chicago Suns gets compared to if you read old reviews of the show, Men Behaving Badly.
Okay. I remember Men Behaving Badly.
I do too. This was a sitcom based on a British series with the same name about two old college buddies who they move back in together and refuse to grow up. And hot scoop, Justine Bateman was actually on the show.
Okay.
So Justine and Jason Bateman on the same night.
Wow.
In 1997. Who knew?
Not gonna lie, I feel like there were definitely times where the Hogan family and Family Ties were bundled together.
Justine and Jason were also in a few episodes of Arrested Development together. I think in the later Fox years.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about those because it was weird because she played his like love interest or something.
Yeah, that was awkward. I couldn't believe they went there.
Yeah, like
Who was the bigger problematic guest star on Arrested Development? Charlize Theron or Justine Bateman?
Charlize Theron.
Looking back at that.
Okay, like the thing with Justine, it's kind of like a joke. Like you get the joke. You get that this pair is never actually gonna.
Yes.
The Charlize Theron stuff is just awful on like multiple levels.
Although we did get a fun sight gag of remember there's the episode where Charlize Theron walks across the pool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for NBC 10 o'clock. I feel like you know this. It's Wednesday night, 10 o'clock.
It's Law and Order.
Yes, Law and Order. We're, about 2 years before SVU drops into the world and takes the world by storm?
We are in Benjamin Bratt era.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're in Benjamin Bratt, near the end of his run?
Yeah.
I'm excited for Fox. This is 100% what I was watching tonight was Fox. Things kick off with Beverly Hills 90210. Tonight's episode, Valerie's old boyfriend from Buffalo shows up looking for a job at the After Dark with her.
Okay.
Donna, gets a part-time job at her dad's office, and Kelly dumps Mark. None of that rings a bell.
Who the fuck is Mark?
I feel like I should know this, but I don't. I was going to say, is it Daniel Cosgrove, but that's Matt, right?
Yeah, that's Matt, and he comes way later.
Following Beverly Hills 90210, any guesses? Any hot guesses?
I want to say Models Inc.
No, it's 1997. Models Inc. was on in like 92.
Hey!
Come on, it's the Salingers, Party of Five.
Oh, Party of Five, okay.
I think we're in like season 3. This is where Julia has guilt after her friend commits suicide. Bailey and Sarah are hitting a rough patch. And Charlie goes to a high school reunion in tonight's episode.
Julia was always feeling guilty, depressed, because Julia is the worst.
Yeah, Julia's a troublemaker.
Like, she was awful.
I mean, in the episode that we did like a year ago, she tries to hook up with her, contractor,
Mm-hmm.
like leaves town while I don't know. What's her name? Is
Julia's having like her appendicitis, and Julia's like, "What? Just go lay down, drink some ginger ale."
What's the name of Lacey Chabet's character on it?
Claudia.
Claudia. You just called her Julia, so I got confused.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Claudia is like dying. That was great. It was a good episode. You know what? Party of Five is a hard show to watch in 2020.
It's also one of those shows where you see the internet take over.
Oh, like the internet's coming into fruition?
Yeah, because like the first season, there's nothing, like they have a computer, but nobody's on email. Nobody's like going on Prodigy or AOL or anything like that. And then the next season, it starts, they're like, oh yeah, there's this thing called email. The only other thing I've seen that was more awkward was on ER when they were trying to explain email to Mark Green.
I love it. I feel like you really see the internet and cell phone technology come into existence on the X-Files because they always, I think like Mulder and Scully were like the first two people on television besides Zach Morris to own a cell phone because they always called each other. And then, I don't know, they were always like using computers and stuff. So I don't know. Shout out to the X-Files for bringing the internet, making the internet cool.
I mean,
inventing it.
To be fair, that's where all their fans have been, is on the internet.
All right. On a scale out of 1 out of 5, Buffalo boyfriends. How many Buffalo boyfriends would you give this night of television? I'm curious because I don't know. I think this is actually a pretty decent night.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I was like, whoa! If Kat gave it anything lower than a 4, I'd be pissed.
Okay, because like you have like a variety. You have your sitcoms, you got your dramas, you got your grown-up dramas, you got your teen dramas, you got your news magazines.
Yeah. You have a Larry Hagman show for mom to watch. There's
a little something for everyone.
Yeah, it's a good night.
Yeah.
The only thing that was missing from this night is I don't know, maybe like a world's scariest police chases. That would have just made it a 5, I think.
No, I was probably this night watching Beverly Hills 90210, maybe Party of 5, and then probably Law and Order.
I for sure was watching Fox all night long, and I probably taped most of NBC. You know, I probably even taped Chicago Suns, but I just don't remember watching it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I probably just hit record at 8 o'clock, and then at 10, when Party of 5 ended, I went to the other room and hit stop, and then I probably watched this on Thursday.
Yeah.
Like late Thursday night, or like after school, after I watched Sunset Beach.
Because we were quickly addicted to that soap opera.
Like, I taped it by accident, and then I was like, whoa, I'm going to watch this for the rest of my life.
How did you tape it by accident? What were you trying to tape?
Well, I think I was like just flipping through TV Guide and I saw an ad for it and it said from the makers of Melrose Place and Out of Now. So I was like, ooh, you know what? Maybe I'll tape this and I'll watch it. And I taped it. And then I was gonna watch something else. It must have been Monday night. And I was probably gonna watch like Melrose Place and Mad About You. And I didn't have any tape. So I was just gonna tape over the Sunset Beach. But then I decided not to. And then I watched it on Tuesday.
And then you had one of the first websites devoted to Sunset Beach.
Yes, and the best one. I wish I could find it. It's not even on the Internet Archive. I can't even find it on there.
That's how old.
All right. You ready to dive into the world of Chicago Suns?
Let's talk about Chicago Suns.
The hottest sitcom of 1997. I'm going to throw this out there. This show could have been How I Met Your Mother if they just added in like a weird future plot.
I understand where you're going, but having watched more of the show than you have, no.
Okay. Just based on the pilot. I was just like, you know what? If they just did like a narration and had Jason Bateman talking from the future, like, this could have been How I Met Your Mother.
No, because, okay, so, the show. We got our 3 brothers. We got our oldest one, who's a construction worker.
He's a sports fan.
Played by DW. We have that would be Mike. We have Mike. And then we have Harry, who is a junior architect at a big firm in Chicago.
Yeah, he works in like a high-rise.
Yeah, he works in a high-rise where you can look into the Sears Tower.
I was going to say, it's very close to the Sears Tower. You can see into it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, like, mid-floor. He's, like, mid in the building, maybe.
Yeah, they're on the mid-floor. Like, they're midway in this building. Because, like, the 28th floor of the Sears Tower is not that, like, off where they are.
Do you know how many stories there are in the Sears Tower?
No.
All right, take a guess. Take a wild guess.
75.
110 plus 3 basement floors.
Damn.
All right, so they're looking up into the 28th floor?
I would say it's kind of like okay, whatever floor they're on, it's sort of eye level. So I would say they're probably about, like, in the same range.
They're between 26 and 30.
Yeah, that, or, something like that, because they're not looking really, like, up with the binoculars or down. They're kind of more looking straight ahead.
Yeah, they're doing, it's like on Seinfeld,
Yeah.
when they have the neighbor that doesn't wear clothes.
Yeah.
Lined up. All right, the office in this is the most 90th of office, like TV offices ever. It's that open room. To get that open concept, it's just got the drafting tables everywhere.
Yeah.
And you get the outfits that everyone wears. They wear like the button up shirts with the vests over them, like it's like a vest you would wear to a wedding.
It's very like business casual goals.
But I feel like there's like a vest policy, like everyone has to wear vests in this.
I mean, I'm sure there might be like a dress code based on like your rank in the company.
All right, let's get into the plot. Let's go into this world.
Okay, so we have our three brothers. It is Mike, Harry, and oh god, what is the younger one's name?
You know what? I never knew his name.
Oh my god, hold on, I'm looking it up. Oh, Billy.
I was gonna say Bobby. That was close.
So you have Harry has a nice apartment. It's near Wrigley Field, so he can watch the games from the roof. And he has recently let his college dropout brother Billy move in with him.
They haven't told the parents that Billy dropped out of college yet. He's kind of living there secretly in shame.
Yeah, and he's always like out trying to like come up with some kind of scam to make money, like quick money, like not a real job like what Harry and Mike have. Like he wants that quick buck. He doesn't really know what he wants to do in life, but he doesn't think college is the answer for him right now. So, it's just like a regular day. The thing is though, Mike's wife has kicked him out of the house.
Yes, they live in Cicero.
And Mike needs a place to stay. And because Mike shows up and Harry is about to like try and convince Mike to take Billy because he wants his like space. Unfortunately, that's not what's gonna happen because he's gonna end up letting his older brother live with him as well.
How big is this apartment?
It's a couple bedrooms at least.
It's at least 3 bedrooms, or do you think the 2 brothers are sharing a room?
They've got to all have separate bedrooms. There's no way.
I was getting the impression that maybe there's a pull-out couch.
No, they all seem to have bedrooms for the episodes I've seen.
Okay.
Like, there's no doubling up.
This is your typical giant inner-city
TV sitcom
apartment where it's got that huge main room where it's like the living room, kitchen is connected. It's all one big room, but it's enormous. And there's just doors all over the place and windows, doors and windows everywhere.
Yeah.
And you could see I feel like you could see the the scoreboard too from the window. I feel like you see that in the background.
Maybe. I'm not sure. The building is eventually bought by Scottie Pippen.
Of the Chicago Bulls?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Like, Scottie Pippen legit, like, is on several episodes of this show.
Oh, shit, really? Damn.
Yeah.
They couldn't get Jordan?
Dude, Scottie Pippen was still big. Jordan had retired at this point, hadn't he?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably retired. I feel like Space Jam has already come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe Jordan comes back. Didn't he come back for like a year or two in like 99-ish?
Like a couple years later. Like after Space Jam, he comes back.
Yeah.
So this might be around the time Jordan's coming back.
Yeah, maybe he's gearing up. He didn't have time. He didn't have time to do a fucking sitcom. The episode literally opens with Jason Bateman's character. He is standing in his kitchen at the island, and there's a thing of like Hershey chocolate, and there's a gallon of milk.
Yes.
And instead of just like pouring a glass of it, he just he squirts the chocolate in his mouth, and then pours the milk in his mouth, and then like shakes his head around.
It is something that all three brothers do. All three of them are shown doing this.
Yes.
It is one of the things where when Harry is trying to get Mike out of his place, and he's going to try and get him back with the wife, he goes to see the wife, and she's like, "You guys are all the same. Like you're all the same. There's no difference between the three of you all, because they all have little idiosyncrasies that they all do. The milk thing and how they're eating Oreos later on. There's just like little things you pick up that you see all three of them doing, which is kind of interesting that they were able to get that But then again, it was directed by James Burrows, so
Yes.
he was on top of that.
So the reason why that whole like chocolate milk and Oreo thing is funny is because although these people, the three brothers, you know, they share these weird quirks, they all have different personalities though. Wildly different personalities.
There is a difference between the three, no matter what the oldest brother's wife says.
I feel like they got the wife, Mike's wife, they bought her at like the standard TV wife like store. She was just like your typical frowning down upon the family.
Yeah, like she shows up in another episode and it's a completely different actress.
Oh yeah, I could see them not going with her. I don't know. She was just so standard. She was like like you could tell that she was not going to be on the show a lot because I feel like they would have gone for a bigger star, maybe a more interesting actress.
Yes.
They just found this. I feel like this might have been like the casting director for the show. They didn't they didn't have anyone else available, so she was like, "I'll do it."
That's who it was in the other episode. Okay, I knew she looked familiar.
Who was it in the other episode?
In the later episode, it's Kirsten Nelson who plays the chief on Psych.
Oh, okay. Who was it in this episode? Not important because
Hold on, let me see if I can find that woman's name.
she had the most '90s hairstyle ever. It was like a poor Rachel cut.
Yeah, it was not. Ugh.
Her fashion sense was whack too.
Yeah, it was.
I was just so unimpressed with this actress.
Yeah, she.
I was like, you stay in Cicero.
She was hard to watch.
Stay all the way in Cicero. Don't come back.
I can't even find her like in IMDb as listed.
Her name's Lisa, I believe, right?
In that
Is
episode.
her name Lisa?
Yeah, the character's name is Lisa.
Okay. Stay there, Lisa. Stay there. You know what? She's so bad that IMDb didn't even want her. They're like, nope.
Exactly.
Stay off our bandwidth.
So, the basic thing is Harry is just trying to get some kind of control of his life, and he wants his brothers gone, but they are sucked into his vortex. He's also got, like, he's just trying to get ahead at work. He is considered the guy to go to if you want to make sure your building is structurally sound, which, okay, maybe this is just me, but if you are an architect and cannot design a structurally sound building on your own, you should not be an architect. Who are you working for? The contractor from A Very Brady Christmas?
I was thinking about this. This scene was very alarming to me because I just started thinking, because the second scene, it cuts over to the workplace. It's this aforementioned office that we talked about. And we get this shot, and it's Jason Bateman's character, Harry. He's just sitting at he's not even sitting, he's like standing over his drafting table. He's got like the little blueprints and the little pencils are everywhere. There's like a little lamp. In comes Paula Marshall, TV's like go-to actress. She's Lindsay, who I guess is like this is going to be the will they or won't they for the series, I'm assuming.
Yes, she is. She is the love interest for Jason Bateman's character. And I'm going to tell you something. Having watched multiple episodes of this, I was like, she can go away.
I normally like Paula Marshall in things. Like, if Paula Marshall's in a show or in a movie or something, I'm 100% down a clown. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. She was kind of a wet blanket in this.
And she's going to use it to her advantage because she's too lazy to put in the actual work.
Harry, he's just, I don't know, Harry's like working on some huge project, some big-ass project that needs to take all of his focus and attention. And in comes Lindsay, and she like struts up to him and she's like, hey, I need some help. I hear you're like they call you Mr. Structurally Sound or something. That's what we call you up.
Yeah, Mr. Sturdy Man.
Oh, Mr. Sturdy Man. That's what we call you on the floor above. I guess she works on the floor above them.
Yeah, she works on upstairs. So I think technically she's higher in the company than him. Or he is obviously the stronger architect, sorry.
So she comes down and she's like, hey, we call you Mr. Sturdy Man upstairs, and because you know the right materials to use for all these high-rises that we're building, you know, the buildings don't collapse. And I'm like, what world are they living in? Is there, like, collapsing buildings all over Chicago? What's happening?
Lindsay's designing them, probably.
But I think it's, like, more than just Lindsay. I don't know, because she keeps talking about all these other people that call him Mr. Sturdy Man.
There must be something that hones in on in a design that the rest of them, like, don't. They miss or something. There has to be something like some kind of design aspect that they just all like kind of like because they're all more like for the aesthetic And he's all like, let's make a beautiful building that's not going to crush people on Christmas Eve, and you have to call him Mike Brady.
Jason looks at, what's his name? Harry? I keep calling him.
Harry.
I can't remember his name. All right, so Harry is looking at Lindsay's blueprints, and he's like, this is clearly like a 13-hour project.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to take me, I'm going to have to be up all night to work on this. He's like, I don't have time for this. And she's like, oh, but there's a surprise in it for you at the end. And he's like, oh, hold on, let me clear my schedule and work on this. Because, like, maybe she says they can go out for lunch or something, or dinner or whatever.
So she, like, makes some kind of, like, insinuation. Like I said, she's the girl who knows she's hot. She knows that the guys in the building want her, and she's going to use it to her advantage.
And he drops his big project immediately to work on her big project.
Mm-hmm. Which is due tomorrow.
Yeah.
Her thing is due tomorrow. And she does that, it's due mañana, por favor. And it's like, oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
What kind of shenanigans are they up to on the floor above? I feel like it's like a 24-hour party up there.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, forgetting to make sure your buildings are structurally sound that you gotta go to Harry?
They're up there getting business drunk.
Probably.
You know what? They don't have a water cooler. It's filled with absinthe up there. It's just a party. Non-stop party and shenanigans, and I don't know, CNC music factories playing at all times.
Yeah.
He takes on the task, and we don't really like see him do the job, but I guess he stays up all night and does the work for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's back at the apartment. He's like talking to his brothers, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to invite her to New Orleans. I'm going to buy 2 round trip plane tickets to New Orleans. We're going to have like a little French Quarter party. We're going to have some fun." A nice weekend, just me and Lindsay.
Yeah, because she mentions that she and her boyfriend have broken up.
Yes, that's right. Derek, who they must have bought at like the ex-boyfriend store at the same place they bought Lisa, Mike's wife.
Yeah. He's
just like your traditional TV sitcom ex-boyfriend. Nothing great about him.
I mean, he was everywhere back in the day. That's Scott Bryce.
Where would I know Scott Bryce from?
I want to say Murphy Brown, As the World Turns. He pops up a lot.
Hold on. I'm bringing up Scott Bryce's hot filmography. He's in something called Claws, the 1977 movie. This must not be the right Scott Bryce. He hasn't acted since then. Who cares? It's not important. All right. Harry gets back to work, and he has like, I guess he's given her the work. He's given her the job assignment. She passes it in. They're all like, "Oh, Lindsay, you're the best. Like you just created the next big building that we're all going to be amazed at. It's going to be like the Sears Tower 2, right next to the Sears Tower." So she's excited. So she goes downstairs. Harry's like working at his desk.
Yeah. And
she's like, "Hey, I promised you a surprise. How about some office sex?" And he's like, "Whoa, what?"
Whoa, that was not what Harry was expecting, especially in the middle of this shared office space.
He starts like unbuttoning his shirt or something. Then she like, no, hold on. Come over here. And she like grabs binoculars from somewhere. She has them with her.
Yeah. She had binoculars like behind her back.
She's like, look across the street over there on the 28th floor at the Sears Tower. 3rd window to the right.
Yeah. She's very specific about which window.
They're doing the Seinfeld thing where they're watching the, I guess the couple go at it. And they're giving like a play-by-play of like what's going on. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, well, especially when he's like, I thought I was Mr. Sturdy Man, but look at the way he's holding her up. Like, holy crap. Like, what is happening across the street, man?
I'm guessing the woman is pinned against the window. I don't know. I'm sure there's some weird...
Like something, or a column in the office or something. Like
some crazy mechanics going on.
Hot damn.
But just as it's getting good, the mini blinds fall down so they don't get to see the big climax. So they're like, ah. Harry's about to bring up his idea of them flying away for the weekend in New Orleans, and Lindsay makes a joke, just like about like least attractive thing to her is just when a guy just invites her to some random place for the weekend. I think she just happens to say New Orleans. Actually, I think she says like New York City or something, and he's like, "Well, what about New Orleans?" She's like, "Even worse."
She's making it very obvious that she gets hit on quite often because she's that freaking hot. Like, her attitude is such a turnoff. Like, I just find her so irritating.
And the clothes she wears are whack too. Ugh.
I mean, for 1997 though, I feel like they're not that bad.
Yeah, probably. I will say though, I think David Krumholtz's character, I think I had like everything he was wearing in this episode.
Oh, you probably did. I'm
pretty sure like the sweaters that he wore in this episode was my entire wardrobe. He fell into the gap.
I mean, it was 1997.
Earlier in the episode, Harry and his brothers are trying to like plot out like the best date night. And I think Mike suggests, hey, you should invite her over to one of our rooftop parties we could watch.
No. They don't want him to do that because he's tried it like 8 times before and nothing ever happened.
Yeah, but doesn't Mike suggest it though?
Harry's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to invite her over to watch. And they're like, no, Harry, you've done this before. It doesn't work. And he's like, no, this time it's going to be different. And then he came up with the New Orleans thing. And then he had to end up inviting her to watch the game.
And she was excited for it. She's like, ooh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, love the Cubs. Totally want to watch. And then she comes up when they do have the party. She shows up with Derek.
Yeah, what the fuck, girl? That's like, what kind of Ben from Felicity is that shit?
This is why she sucks so much.
Yes. Ugh.
Oh, like, Lindsay is awful. Like, she gets worse throughout the series. She is not someone you're rooting for Harry to be with. At least when I was rooting for Harry to find somebody else.
If only Robin Scherbatsky should have showed up.
Like, ugh.
What are some other TV shows that take place in Chicago? Like, all right, ER.
Yes.
Who from ER could we have paired Harry up with?
Carol.
Carol? Ooh, yeah, Carol. Oh, yeah. I stand Carol and Harry.
Yeah.
Carrie. We'll call him Carrie.
Oh, my God.
Or Harold.
You know how I feel about ship names. I hate ship names.
Easier for me to remember them that way. It makes them more memorable. I don't know. I think maybe Carrie Stringfield, too. I can't think of her name.
Honey, she turned out to be a lesbian.
Not in the first season. She was banging the psychiatrist.
True.
She goes both ways. You know what?
Yeah, I guess
she hasn't been to Bateman's World yet. Sure, that will rock her socks off.
Oh my God.
All right. So they're at the party, and we have to talk about the guests at the party. Because who makes an appearance?
Yes.
Who the hell makes an appearance? But our least favorite Hogan's Family character ever, Bert.
What about Mr. Poole? He was pretty awful.
That is true. But we learned I think in last week's episode, the Hogan's Family episode, that Jason Bateman and what's his name, Scott Whiting or Whiting or something, or Steve Whiting?
Yeah, something like that.
They must be friends in real life.
Or like besties.
Yeah, because he seems to be in a lot of Jason Bateman projects. So, like, they've kept in touch over the years. He shows up as a party guest. He gets a few lines.
Yeah, he gets a few lines. Got to keep that SAG health insurance and such.
Yeah, he's got the blue HMO with SAG. He's got a good copay. He gets a free tummy tuck every year.
Alrighty then. But yeah, so like, there's like a variety of people at this party, I would say. There's definitely like guys and girls. It's not just a bunch of guys and like 3 girls. There's like the girl with the insanely long braided ponytail. Like, oh my God, that hair would be so freaking long.
It was so distracting. She doesn't have any lines, but she's just like a background character that just keeps popping up in all these dramatic scenes. And I'm just like, oh, I can't stop staring at that long ponytail. It's like past her ass.
Yeah, by the way, thanks for pointing her out, because when I rewatched this morning,
yeah,
I honed in on that. Like, there's the ponytail lady.
It was so distracting. Wasn't she wearing a hat too? And like the ponytail was like poking out of the hat? Or
No, I think she had a scrunchie.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But she was wearing like a black and white striped oversized polo type shirt. That was really popular back then.
She looked like the Hamburglar. They never show her face though.
No, they don't.
All right, we'll put a picture online so you could look at it, because it was so distracted. It just bothered me because I think I missed like a full minute of the episode because I just could not stop staring at that ponytail.
You were like, what is happening?
Remember in Problem Child, where there's that girl with the pigtails, the long pigtails, and Junior comes up and like cuts off the pigtails? I just wanted someone at the party to do that to her.
Oh my God. So, yeah. Lindsay shows up at the party with her boyfriend, Derek, and Harry's like, what's the worst? He says to Billy, what's the worst thing that could happen? Billy's like, the girl you invited up here to try and mac on shows up with her no longer ex-boyfriend. And Harry's like, exactly. Like, who does that?
Lindsay has a motive, I think. I think she has a plan.
Oh.
She's working the system, I think. She's got a scheme going. I think she's cooking up a scheme. Do we get that in follow-up episodes? Is Derek still in the picture?
Yeah, Derek is in throughout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like he's in and out, and they're on again, off again.
Do they try to make him part of the gang at some point?
No, he's definitely not part of the gang, because like he punches Harry in this episode, because Harry goes up and kisses Lindsay.
Oh yeah, because he's normally Mr. Sturdy Man. Everyone knows what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
But Mike is kind of like your just let things happen kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. He uses his reverse psychology on Harry. So Harry's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna go up and kiss her. And when he does, and then he gets punched out, Mike's like, well, I didn't mean do it in front of the boyfriend.
Yeah, like, dude.
It's like, at least take her into the other room. Because I was thinking that.
Yeah, like, don't do it where everybody can see, but everybody saw it.
The way he did it was awkward. So
and then
Harry's holding a hot dog and a can of beer, and he, like, walks up to Lindsay. He, like, tells her to hold the beer and hot dog. She's, like, holding onto it. And then he just moves in and, like, but he, like, holds her face and kisses her.
Yeah.
And she, like...
Yes, he does the, like, face hold.
She, like, tilts the beer. It's, like, spilling everywhere. Does she drop the hot dog? I feel like she dropped the hot dog.
I don't remember. I didn't really pay attention to the hot dog. All I could think of was as she was spilling the beer was in Son-in-Law when she spills the milk.
Oh, Carla Gugino, whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. And, then there's this whole, like, maybe the older brother wants to kill himself by sitting at the end of a ledge because he's all depressed.
Yeah, because the wife wants to go to couples counseling and he doesn't want to do it. And they're like, just do it. Like,
and he goes.
And, well, it's so funny because Mike and Harry both very easily, nonchalantly sit on the ledge of this building. And Billy comes over and he's about to get up with them and he's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Billy and Harry, like, leave Mike alone for a second, and then they look back. Billy looks back, and Mike isn't there on the ledge anymore, and he's like, Mike, no, what happened? He's, like, in the background at the party.
I was getting Lara Flynn Boyle from Las Vegas vibes. I was like, just wait for this gust of wind to come and just knock Mike off. Because I was like, maybe the twist of the pilot is that the older brother dies. There have been stranger things that have happened on television.
There have been.
It's like that show right now with Ryan Philippe, that they like build it as a new Ryan Philippe show, but he dies at the end of the first episode.
The brother from Drew Carey kills him.
Thanks for ruining for me. I'm just kidding. Like, I'm going to watch it.
It was not that, like, entertaining. It was not.
It's just trying to be Twin Peaks.
I was kind of like, I was sitting there, like, watching it, because I watched it the day after it premiered, and I was just like, okay. And, like, I blinked and even missed it, so I was like, Obviously, whatever this is isn't that big a deal, so I, like, Google, I'm like,
You invested in it.
It didn't pull me in like the first episode of This Is Us did, when it revealed that the triplets that Mandy Moore and Milo had were the adults that we were watching, you know?
And by the way, we're talking about the TV series Big Sky, so when it's like 4 years from now, people are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Like, which Ryan Philippe show where he just disappeared? Because it probably won't be the first.
Because he's in another show, too. Like, wasn't he, like, in the first season of one show, then when it came back the next year, he wasn't in anymore? It was like a court show.
Yeah, something like...
Ryan Philippe needs to eat.
I don't know. I haven't kept up with his career very much, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie, like, Cruel Intentions is the last thing I think I've seen him in.
Pretty much.
I know he's done things. I was gonna say, like, did he do the skulls? But no.
Like, he does stuff, but it's not stuff I want to watch.
Yeah. He did that,
I just know his daughter looks so much like Reese, it's wild.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Honestly, other than Cruel Intentions, I think his biggest career move was impregnating Reese Witherspoon. All right. Is there any more to Chicago Suns? I feel like... Oh, they do like a weird, like, wave-type dance at the end.
Oh, yes. Okay, so, like, afterwards, Harry's in the apartment, and Mike and Billy come to check on him because Lindsay has left with Derek. She's like, we have some talking to do. And Mike's like, here's a number for a couples counselor. You guys might want to check her out. She's really good.
Oh, yeah.
And, so Harry's in there and he's listening to music and he's dancing by himself because, like, even though he got punched, he still feels kind of, like, good about stuff.
He's a Mac. Return of the Mac.
So,
by Mark Morrison.
Like, do this wave dance, and there's this moment, like, when they comes back around to Billy, they do, like, they kind of like whip it, their arms down so like he falls down.
Yeah, I can't remember the name.
It's total like Big Brother's picking on Little Brother kind of thing.
That little like wave dancing they did. They used to do it at like if you ever went to like roller disco or like roller skating things, they would always do that. You know, you have like 3 or 4 people connect and you hold hands and you move your arms up and down in like a weird wave formation. I remember like a contest and having to do that when I was like 10 years old, maybe. I don't know what it's called though.
Oh god.
I was going to call it the electric slide, but I'm pretty sure that's not it.
That is not the electric slide.
It's something to do with like electricity though, isn't it called that? Because it's supposed to be like a wave of electricity.
I don't know. I honestly don't even know. Like,
I'll take a video of it and we'll put it out there and see if anyone knows what it is.
Okay.
All right. So I guess that's the setup of the episode. I'm guessing following episodes is they're dealing with the aftermath of this.
Yeah, in the following episodes, Harry and Lindsay end up being teamed up together and have to share an office.
Oh.
And, like, she's always kind of, like, around, because you can tell she's, like, in the credits. She's, like, one of the 4 main cast members.
Yeah, in the theme song, they make it seem like she's, like, part of the gang, because I was confused when she shows up in the office, and I'm like, oh, she's just, like, a weird office friend? Like, I thought she was, like, maybe, like, a cousin or a neighbor.
Like, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I think that if this show had been granted a second season, Lindsay would have been cut.
I can see it.
Like,
they need to have like someone that lives in the building with them. Like, how about like an apartment with like 3 girls in there, and just go the friends route. Just why not?
Just go the friends route. She's just an annoying character who, like, I don't see what Harry sees in her. I don't know if it's just like the chase because like he wants her and he can't have her, and she's just like, oh, Harry, I know you want me, and you're such a good friend to me, Harry, but I'm gonna go, like, move in with Derek now. Oh, you're gonna help me pack? Okay, let's have sex on this table, and now you're gonna have to break up with your girlfriend, because I'm gonna reveal it in front of her father.
Does Harry have friends on the show, or does he just hang out with his bros?
He kind of hangs out with his bros for the most part. Like, I think the friends are the ones we saw on the roof, but, like...
They live in the building?
Mostly we get, like...
They're using him?
Yeah, probably live in the building or live, like, nearby, or, like, they're the old high school, college friends kind of thing.
Maybe they're, like, patrons at the bar that they always go to, Murphy's.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just hear, like, roof party, and they just follow them upstairs. I could just see Mike, the older brother, just having, like, a couple of shots and just, like, going into the bar and being like, roof party upstairs, and they all follow him up.
The Cubs are about to play, guys! Grab the brats! We're gonna have a party up on the roof!
They should just move the bar upstairs on the roof. Like, why not?
For real.
Is the bar in the building? I got the sense that it was in the building.
Yes, the bar is in the building.
Okay.
They steal cable from the bar.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes, they steal cable from the bar, and they get busted when Scottie Pippen buys the building.
Oh.
And he's like checking the cable. He's like, let's go. He's like, oh, this goes up to this apartment.
They trace the cord back to the wall. No wonder it was never plugged in at all.
Yeah.
To quote Blink-182. All right. I'm going to ask the age-old question. I'm really curious what you're going to give this. So on a scale of 1 out of 5 forgotten hot dogs, how many forgotten hot dogs would you give this episode?
3.5.
3.5? Okay.
I think it's a fairly decent pilot. It's got a good setup. You have 3 characters that are quite likable when you put them together. Like, if it was just Mike and Harry, would this work? No. If it was just Harry and Billy, would it work? No. If it was just Mike and Billy, would this work? Hell no. But you get the 3 of them together. It meshes well in a way that really works. It's our 4th character, Lindsay, that's really the biggest drag, I think, to the series.
I'd agree. I give it a 3.5 also. Like, I didn't absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
It was like your average late 90s NBC sitcom. It just kind of had a formula. It was the Friends formula, I think.
Kind of, yeah.
You know, it's your go-to TV formula. Some people can make it work. Some people can't. I thought it was kind of interesting because you have the 3 different personality types. They're sort of close in age, but far enough in age where maybe you can have some like young 21-year-old storylines with Crumhold's character. Maybe you can have some like older, I don't know, marriage storylines with Mike in different episodes. Like, there's different places that you can go with this, and it's a show that you can easily expand on the premise. You know, like, they really make point of that it's Chicago and it's Wrigley Field in the pilot episode. I'm sure that would probably die, interest in that would die down at some point. But, maybe like season 4, you could, if it lasted that long, you could have like, they buy the bar, they own the bar now or something. Or
something, like they buy the building from Scottie Pippen or whatever. I'm going to be honest. I think if this show had gotten a second season, I would have written Lindsay out. I would have let Harry date around a little more. Mike would have really truly been trying to date in a second season. And maybe I would have given Billy some little stability in a second season. Like maybe find him a good job that he fits in with. And then gone from there. Like, see what those new possibilities bring for them.
I could see maybe Billy could have been a mascot for the Cubs.
Yes, or just worked at Cubs at Wrigley Field or something.
He could have sold peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
To the guests. Yeah, I could see that. You know what? I could see NBC bringing in their stable of guest actors as Jason Bateman girlfriends, and it's like I could see like maybe like a stunt cast. They have like I don't know, like Jennifer Aniston in a special episode.
Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of. Is like Jennifer Aniston guest stars one week as Sherry, a client who thinks Harry's just dreamy.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, it wasn't horrible. It just I think the downfall of this show is that it was too much like other NBC sitcoms, so it just kind of was hidden amongst this field of sitcoms. Because it was compared to Men Behaving Badly and Friends, were the two big comparisons, and that was pretty much what I think NBC was trying to go for around this time.
Well, the thing is, they had their New York universe, and a lot of stuff that didn't take place in New York did not fare as well. The Naked Truth didn't take place in New York, and it just did not click in the same way. I think the only one that really clicked that didn't take place in New York was Suddenly Susan.
And News Radio, really.
And no, News Radio took place in New York.
I thought it was New Hampshire for some reason.
No. Okay. I know why you think that. I know why you think that. Because the final episode, they moved to New Hampshire.
That's it. I don't know.
Except for Dave and Matthew.
Ignore me. Do you know what?
I get why you think it. I get it.
Do you know what I was thinking about last night when I was watching this? This would have been wild. So let's say this show had caught on. This was the next Friends, and it was on for 10 seasons. This would have taken us to 2007-ish, 2008-ish. And then all of a sudden NBC came out with, that whole Chicago universe with Chicago PD, Chicago Med.
Yeah.
What if all of a sudden one day you're watching season 4 of Chicago PD and they have to go to the bar that the brothers now own and it's Jason Bateman, David Krumholtz, and D.W. Moffat.
That would be wild.
I could see that happening had the show taken off. I don't know why.
There is an alternate universe where Chicago Suns was the show.
Oh yeah, it's they just took it off Netflix last January, and they're moving it to HBO Max, and people are pissed off. Everyone's upset. Everyone's up in arms because they have to subscribe to HBO Max.
They're like, oh, we love Chicago Suns. Why did we just don't talk about the first season with Paula Marshall?
Banished from the books. No one talks about the first season.
Yeah, we don't talk. We'll watch it. But we just, we get through it quickly because we know there's better stuff coming along. I'm sorry, Paula Marshall. I do like you. I just, not as Lindsay.
And I want to throw something out there. HBO Max is the superior streaming service. It's better than Netflix.
Wow.
It's got better shows, better movies.
Really? What does it have that makes it... what does it have?
It's got all the HBO stuff. You can watch every season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. You can watch every season of... I know you don't watch it. The Sopranos, Sex and the City... And it's now getting the 2021 catalog of Warner Brothers movies, so you can see Wonder Woman. You can watch
that's true.
The new Matrix movie when it drops.
Not gonna lie, we're looking into getting HBO Max.
You need to get it. It costs a little bit more, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
We just gotta figure out how to connect it, because there's not an app alone for it on the Vizio TV as of the day we're recording it. So
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We gotta decide if we do it through Prime, which seems to be our only option to get it so we can stream it from the TV. then that's like more on my account. We were trying to balance out all our streaming stuff between the two of us.
Yeah, and Netflix originals, not so hot. I'm going to throw this out there. There's only a few Netflix originals that are actually good, and I can't even think of any off the top of my head.
House of Cards.
It's all right. It's all right. I love Robin Wright Penn.
Alexa and Katie.
I've never seen it. Don't know her. Don't know her doctor.
You need to watch it.
You keep saying.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen is the mom.
It's
so good. You will cry. You will laugh. You will cry. It is a journey.
I don't know if I could.
Beautiful.
I don't know. You know what? I'll try it later on tonight. I still gotta watch Kim Possible, so.
Oh, that's right. You still do watch Kim Possible.
I gotta add it to the list. All right. I'm excited for next week. Jason Bateman month continues. We're gonna go back into the wild catalog of Jason Bateman's sitcoms pre-Arrested Development. So
yes,
way before then, they tried it again. You know what? Jason Bateman, he's just that guy that they just grabbed whenever they needed to do a sitcom.
You know what?
And, they wanted a familiar face.
He kept busy. The man kept busy, and it wasn't like he was doing pilots that weren't getting picked up. He was doing shows that were getting picked up.
Yeah, they just, I don't know, bad time slots. The premise just wasn't fully developed. I don't know. So what show are we dipping into next week? A show that I've never seen. Another show I've never seen.
It is another gem that I found via YouTube. It was a CBS sitcom called Some of My Best Friends.
Yes. It's on, 2001-ish?
2002-ish, somewhere in there.
And it's based on a movie originally? It was originally a movie?
Yeah. There was a movie in the 90s that this is based on.
And someone at CBS liked the premise, so they bought up the idea.
Yeah, so they bought it, and then they tried to develop into a sitcom.
And obviously it didn't work, but join us next week when we go into Some of My Best Friends, when we go through the Batemanology. What did I call it earlier? The Batemanography?
Yeah, Batemanography.
Yeah, so join us next week, and I don't know, maybe we'll finally hear from the man himself. Maybe Jason Bateman will finally chime in and give us a soundbite of what it was like to work on Some of My Best Friends. And where can you follow our Wild House Adventures? Kat, also the author. Where can you follow us?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram at A Very Special Podcast. You can find us on all kinds of streaming services for podcasts. You have found us, so subscribe. Do not accept imitations. You can find us at averyspecialpodcast.com, saltyrockmedia.com, and on Patreon.
And as always, girl,
Bye!
Watch the skies for the home run ball that shoots out of the stadium and onto Jason Bateman's roof. And he catches it.
And then he drops it.